Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. In this episode, we're going to make an absolutely delicious omelet. It is a spicy salsa omelet, and it really has a lot of Mexican flair to it, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Now, if you watch this video and you do like it, and I am going to show you how to make an omelet, it's really not that hard, please check out my website, stepbystepchef.com, because you're going to find over 18 omelets right there for the taking. So come on, let's cook. And here are the ingredients for our spicy salsa omelet. First of all, we have 3 eggs, because basically it's not an omelet without eggs. We're also going to have a 1/4 cup of sweet onion. We're going to mince that up. And you can also use yellow, red, white onion, whatever you have is just fine. But I really think the sweet onion adds a nice contrast to the spice in this dish. I am going to use this spicy pepper jack cheese. We're going to grate that until we have about a 1/4 cup of cheese. And that is absolutely delicious. We also have 3 Campari tomatoes. And after we're done mincing those and cleaning them, it's going to be about a 1/4 cup of tomato. So if you can't get the Camparis, any kind of tomato is just fine. I also have 2 teaspoons of butter separated. 1 is for sauteing and 1 is for preparing the egg mixture itself. And we have 1 jalapeno. Now, if you don't like things super spicy, you can certainly eliminate that jalapeno because there is heat in the pepper jack, or you can just use a little bit less. I like mine really hot and spicy. And finally, we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of minced cilantro, and we're going to sprinkle that on the top when we're all done, and that really makes this taste like a salsa omelet. So let me show you how to put this together. And the first thing we're going to do is crack our eggs and beat them up. So just make sure you don't get any shells in it. There we go. And now the secret to a fluffy omelet is to add a teaspoon of water. Now some people have written to me and they've said, I think you should use a teaspoon of milk, but quite frankly, this teaspoon doesn't really matter. What you're looking for is liquid that makes it fluff up. It can be milk or water. I mean, honestly, the milk does not add any unique taste or texture to it, at least not that I can tell. But if you want to add milk, go ahead. A teaspoon of milk is just fine. And then we're just going to beat up the eggs. And there we go. And we're just going to set these aside. Now let's prepare our veggies. So we're going to cut our sweet onion first. We're actually going to mince this pretty fine. I don't want big chunks of sweet onion in this dish. I love when all of the veggies blend together quite nicely, just like they do in a good salsa. So let's just get the onion skin off. Okay, and then what we do is just slice the top like this. We're just scoring it real close. These lines are real close. Turn it around, come in real close again. And then we do that perpendicular. So we go against the lines that we just put on the top of the onion. And you don't have to go too deep with this, because a 1/4 cup really isn't that much. And then we just slice down the face. And there we go. There's our onion. There's our 1/4 cup of onion, that easy. And then we're just going to put it in this bowl. And these are the vegetables. The vegetables I put into this bowl are the vegetables we're going to saute. And it's a real light saute that we do. We want to keep them very flavorful and not crunchy, but not completely limp either. And now we take our tomatoes, and these have been rinsed off already, and just cut off the stemmy end. And again, if you're working with regular tomatoes, pretty much the same thing. What we're going to do is cut off the stemmy ends, then cut these in half, And then you can't see it, but I'm taking this over to the sink and I'm rinsing out the pulp and the seeds. Because if I leave those in, this omelet is going to be absolutely saturated. It's going to be dripping, and we don't want that. We want the tomato flavor, but we don't want it soaking everything down. So you can see the seeds and the pulp are gone. I'm just rinsing them right down the sink. And this is the same thing you do with a regular tomato. Just get rid of the seeds and the pulp. We just really want the tomato flesh in this fish. Okay, oops. Didn't mean to bump you. That's the thing about working close in the kitchen, is you kind of run into each other. Sorry about that. And then all we're doing is cutting this into slices, and then we're just going halfway. So we get these nice little pieces. See, nice little pieces of tomato. And then just put those in the bowl with the onion. That's just fine. So you can see already that this is a salsa. And when we sprinkle that cilantro on top, then it absolutely tastes like a good salsa. And I love these dishes. I love these omelets. And I hope you will check out stepbystepchef.com. Look under the breakfast section, and you are going to find some amazing omelets. And I also have them in my book, Cooking with the Step-by-Step Chef, which is on Amazon.com in Kindle and print edition. And there you're going to find well over 100 recipes for a breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a couple of desserts that are absolutely delicious. But the omelets are especially popular, so I hope you will check those out. And even if you don't think you can make an omelet, wait till you see how I do it. You will be able to. And here's our jalapeno. Now I always wear, well, mostly always wear, these plastic gloves when I'm cutting and cleaning jalapenos or any other pepper, hot pepper. Because, want to know something? You touch your eye once, lesson learned. The only other option if you don't have the glove is to really just work it with a knife and a fork. But try not to get this on your fingers, because inevitably it's either going to burn your fingers or it's going to burn your eyes if you go and touch your eyes, or God forbid you touch your nose. You will remember it. And like I said before, you don't have to add a whole jalapeno. You can add less if you want, and you can skip it all together, and you'll still get some really good flavor out of this omelet. But I want that real salsa experience. I just absolutely love Mexican food. So you can see I just minced this jalapeno up, and it's going in because we are going to saute it. And here's our cilantro. It's already rinsed, and I'm just giving it a quick mince. And again, we're going to sprinkle this on top of the omelet after we're done. It really gives it that final, hey, this is a salsa omelet taste. You can make it without the cilantro if you don't have cilantro in your area, but this really does add a nice freshness to the dish. And since we're not sauteing this, I'm putting it in this separate bowl. And next up, we're going to grate the cheese. A good pepper jack has jalapeno and red chilies in it. That's my favorite kind. If you don't like really spicy, you can certainly get just a cheddar or a fiesta blend, or one of those, Monterey Jacks or something like that cheese that you like. That's a little bit milder. It will still taste absolutely great in this omelet. So don't feel like you have to use the pepper jack and go full heat on this. And what we're going to do is just grate a 1/4 cup of cheese. And I'm working around a tripod, and it's a little warm in here, so I'm just doing the best I can, but this will give you an idea of what we're after. I'm going to add a little bit more. There we go. There's our 1/4 cup of cheese. And now I'm going to meet you over at the stove. And the first thing I want to do is take a teaspoon of the butter, melt it into this small frying pan, and we're going to saute our tomatoes and vegetables here very quickly. So here they are. And like I said before, I don't want to make these completely limp. This pan has preheated for a couple of minutes over medium heat, and we're just going to wait until the onions just start to look translucent, and then we'll know that our sauteing process is done. And stir it as it's going. And you can see these are the classic ingredients that you find in a tasty salsa or pico de gallo. The only thing really missing is the lemon or lime, because honestly, I think that would curdle the egg. It would just totally throw off the dish. So kind of fight the urge to add that much of the flavor. This is an extremely close proximity to an absolutely delicious and spicy salsa. And you can see, because we cleaned out the seeds and the pulp from the tomatoes, it's not turning into this liquidy mess. So that's really something that's necessary to do in this dish. And I can see that our onions are already, after 2 minutes, starting to appear transparent and translucent. So I'm just going to give them about a half a minute more, and then we're going to set that off. We're going to take this pan off the heat. And you should smell this aroma, especially because we cut the cilantro in the kitchen. It smells like salsa. It's just absolutely delicious. And I can see everything starting to saute just right. Let's get that off. And now what we're going to do is prepare the egg mixture. And this full-size frying pan has been preheating just under medium heat. You don't want to burn the egg, so it's just under medium heat. And then we just pour this mix right in. And due to some geological abnormality where I live, you can see that the stove's a little crooked, so I have to do a little bit of an adjustment, because you want the egg to cover the whole bottom of the pan. And I'm actually grateful for this abnormality, because I have a suspicion that 9 out of 10 people have the same experience. But we really need to coat the bottom of the pan with the egg mixture. And then you see these little windows where it's a little bit darker, the egg's a little bit darker. I'm waiting for those to turn kind of this yellowish white color, and that means a floor has formed of egg mixture under the pan. So then when I put the other ingredients in here, they'll have something to sit on instead of getting scorched right to the pan. I'll show you. So after about a minute, you can see a little bit of white through those windows. That means it's ready for me to add the other ingredients. So I'm adding the veggies, the salsa mix, to half of the omelet. And you're going to see why in a few minutes. Get it nice and evenly distributed. And then sprinkle the pepper jack cheese evenly over the other half. Now I'm going to make a scrambler version of this. So if you're a little timid about making an omelet, I'm going to make a scrambler version that you can have breakfast burrito style, and that will come out just as good. But for omelet lovers like me, this is delicious. And you can add more cheese if you want. And I've been accused of being a little bit cheese stingy, but I also really love to be able to taste these veggies. And then what we're going to do is just cover this for about 3 minutes. And then we're going to take the cover off and see if the cheese is melted down and that side of the omelet does not look like it has runny egg. Then we're going to flip that over on top of the vegetable side and you'll have an omelet. So I'll be right back. So 3 minutes later, let's see what we got. That's looking good and solid to me. Let's see. Oh, nope. I actually want to put this in for about another 2 minutes because I don't want that to be runny. So let's just give it another 2 minutes and then it'll be ready to flip. So here we are again 2 minutes later, and now you can see it's all nice and solid. This will not be runny when I flip it. So I'm just loosening it up from the bottom. It's a little bit difficult because I'm working around a tripod, but I loosened it up and then flip it. That's your salsa omelet. And this is a salsa omelet for 2 in my house. Some people can eat the whole thing, but this is one for 2 in my house. And I'll see you in a moment. Now, while you and the other villagers were dancing around celebrating that the omelet flip actually worked, I was sprinkling cilantro on the top of this. This absolutely gives this omelet that delicious spicy salsa taste. If you like this omelet, or you want to try some other omelets, please go to my website, stepbystepchef.com. There you're going to find printable recipes and links to free videos for over 100 delicious meals. 100. And this will be one of them. The other thing you will find there is my book, my cookbook, Cooking with the Step-by-Step Chef. This will save you the time of printing tons and tons of recipes. They're all in one place. They make a great gift, and I will be updating this book every year. So the salsa omelet we just made will be in this year's edition later this year. So please check this out. It's very inexpensive. It's on Amazon.com in print and Kindle forms, and the link is on stepbystepchef.com. So I'm Larry Richardson. I am your step-by-step chef, and I'll see you in the next episode.